When it comes to tenancy in Kenya, not so many Kenyans understand their rights, especially when handling disputes related to deposit as well as damaged properties when vacating houses. Disputes may go all the way to corridors of justice, or you may not get the full refund of your deposit. So how does the commercial law protecting tenants? Are they well implemented for landlords? How are they protected? Under this law, I spoke to commercial litigator Eric Thige.
I believe that it's a yes and no question. Yes, in terms of their laws, which specify the duties and obligations of tenants and landlords, but no, in terms of that the laws that are in place are deficient. And other than the deficiencies of the law, also the implementation of the law is lacking, so that you meet landlords and tenants, if I may say, taking law into their own hands and resorting to self-help measures. But generally, I would say yes, there are laws that are in place to protect both landlords and tenants from harassment by each other.
What are some of the key tenant rights that they need to know before occupying a house and before vacating the same house that they occupied?
Some of the rights that tenants have, the right not to be discriminated against when one is looking for a house. So you will find that you will go to some estates, you are told we cannot let to you because you are single, because you're from this religion, because you're pregnant, because you're married, you're not married. All those are instances of discrimination that should not happen. So that is a right that each and every Kenyan should know, that they should not be discriminated against. Also, tenants have the right to a refund of their deposits once the tenancy is terminated, which deposit should not be withheld by the landlord unless the circumstances dictate that the same should be withheld.
Talking about deposit, which is one of the crucial things when one is getting a house and when one is vacating a house, at what point should one get back his deposit? Should it be a month before he has vacated, or immediately in the event there are no damages which have been done?
There's no specific timeline, set timeline within which the deposit should be refunded. It will all be dependent on the tenancy agreement between the parties. If the tenancy agreement says that the deposit should be refunded immediately, then it should be so. But let's say there is no tenancy agreement, which in most cases within the country there are no tenancy agreements, then it should be within a reasonable period. If the payment of rent was happening within a month, then you should expect that the deposit should be refunded within a month. Yes.
During these COVID-19 times, we've seen so many cases of tenants being evicted. How would you talk about this situation in the country?
I would say that the COVID period has affected both parties, if I may call them that, both landlords and tenants, in that tenants have not been able to go to work. Then that would affect the business premises in, let's say, within town. But this tenant is also living at a place where probably he has rented, which also affects the residential tenancy that they may have. The solution to that, most of the solutions to that we have handled have been to renegotiate with the landlords. Also, if you're acting for the landlord, then to renegotiate with the tenants, such that we come to an agreeable solution to both of them.